Yes, and thanks for staying with us on Sport Watch. Of course, we had a peek at the precast concrete business that Kim Lun Corporation is involved in. The studio with me, CEO of Kim Lun Corporation, Mr. Sim Tian Liang, who was earlier telling us about the overall focus of the business, and one of it is being heavily involved in the development in down south Johor. That's of course at the Iskandar development region. Mr. Sim, your precast concrete manufacturing arm of Kim Lun. Now, how can it benefit as well? Yeah, I'm sure the viewers want to know from the rapid development in the Singaporean markets. Can you tell us?
Yeah, Singapore, the economic growth last year is very repeat at 14% on year-to-year basis compared to negative 0.8% in 2009.
That's a big jump.
Big jump. Since then, the economy has picked up, and the constructions projects in Singapore also going through a big transformations. After the IRs, then they have this upgrading of the MRT. Double their coverage from 138 kilometers to 278 kilometers over the period of 10 years.
Okay, that's the MRT.
MRT of Singapore. Okay. Most of it
is this an ongoing kind of project?
Yeah, it's 10 years. For,
10 years, okay.
For the next 10 years, this project need to double. So most of it is underground, and this way our SPC industry have been a supplier of this precast concrete lining.
Are you the sole supplier or the main supplier?
We, as I said, in Singapore, also they got three players. One is Hong Leong Asia, SCPI, and us. So we have been able to secure about 60 to 70% of the order from this MRT segment in Singapore. So with this, what called the expansion of MRT, as well as they have the highway, complex highway, some of it also underground, and the sewerage project, Singapore, the new water, where all the sewage are collected and treated and converted to new water and supplied to industry.
That's the sewage treatment?
Sewage treatment. They need also segment, concrete segment, as well as pipe jacking.
Right.
So it's benefited to our SPC manufacturing arm, where we are producing this pipe jacking pipe, as well as MRT lining segment.
Right. So from all these that you're doing, I'm sure turnover would be expected to be
our manufacturer will be able to increase the turnover.
To date would be how much?
Now it's we anticipate 70 to 80 million this year.
This year. Okay. What about last year?
Last year is about 50 million.
So in terms of growth rate, that is also something that's interesting to look at.
Yes.
What is your forecast
for
growth rate?
The group, we anticipate the top line, the revenue to grow about 15 to 20% this year as compared to last year, on group basis.
Yeah, that's great, actually. And you managed to raise 62 million ringgit, from the IPO exercise when Kim Lun was listed on the main board, and that's back in June 2010. Is that right? So what are you doing with the money?
Okay. So out of the 62 million, 36 million, the proceeds will be utilized to construct 3 new factories. One is the expansion of the MRT concrete lining segment. The other 2, this is anticipate of the volume increase of the order from Singapore. Haven't thought about MRT KL yet. Then we are setting up one more factory for our IBS building components.
How much is that going to cost?
That one cost roughly about 15 million of this factory to produce the hollow core slab
Okay.
This is a semi-automated machine.
Okay. Where is that factory going to be based?
In Johor Bahru.
Johor Bahru. Okay.
And hollow core wall. This is a building component.
Is that the same as the precast concrete plant? Would that be the same?
This is another technology where we can produce precast building components using semi-automated machine.
Okay.
And also producing spun part. Where now there's a lot of water, Danga Bay, waterfront city, they will be using a lot of spun part.
So
besides Singapore's orders.
Right. So the 62 million will go into all this.
36 out of 62. 36 million will be utilized to build these 3 factories.
Right. Now, speaking of IBS or industrialized building system, how is the acceptance right here in Malaysia? Because that would be quite new as compared to where it's more familiar, and that would be in Europe. Yeah,
yes.
Is the Malaysian market ready to accept this sort of system or technology?
Yeah, Malaysia, the government had taken the lead to adopt the system. The government had come out with this treasury circular, whereby all the government projects must have 70% IBS content, with the aim to reduce the foreign labors in the construction industry to 15%. And CIDB take one step further under this IBS roadmap 2011-2015. They want the private sector to embark this program also, adopt this method, so they want encourage the private sector to have 50% IBS components.
So are you going fully into this system, adopting this system, or you also maintain like the traditional method?
No, we will advocate this, and we will continue to promote this system, go hand in hand with the government. Besides taking government projects, some of the private projects we will adopt this system. So I think the future for this IBS is good, and in the long term, I think our country with a small base population, the cheap levels, especially the Prime Minister talking about high income populations. So by adopting technology and this high productive method of constructions, I think our this called construction skilled workers salary will be expecting a jump.
So it's actually moving towards
in
our
the right
economic
directions.
model in
economic
terms
model,
of upgrading the skill for
I
the
can see in
construction
most
workers.
countries, like Europe, Australia, US, they do construction without importing foreign laborers. Why Malaysia need to?
So it is possible.
Yes.
Okay. You said that at least 15% growth, for this year based on today's economic landscape. Do you foresee any big challenges that may obstruct you to reach this target?
You see, that based on the book orders as February this year, we have 900 million book orders.
900 million.
Our is 820 million is from construction. The other one 80 million from the manufacturing arm. So with this based on that basis, we are confident to achieve the growth.
Okay.
Of course,
do you foresee anything?
There are some challenges ahead, such as the Libya political unrest, the Japan's tsunami,
and of course the increase in oil prices,
so
even before the double disaster.
The demand of this building material
may
go up. The price may go up because in Japan need to do reconstruction. The oil price may go up, so they will affect the commodity prices. But as far as this commodity prices doesn't rise so sudden or so drastic, we still within our manageable level.
Okay, so it's still manageable.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Sim Tian Liang, who is CEO of Kim Lun Corporation, all the way from Johor to share with us his thoughts and, of course, some of his prospects for the company and the construction business this year and ahead. And right after this, we'll have a segment on Did You Know, still on Kim Loon Corporation, and a CEO trivia on the lighter side. Stay with us on SWOT Watch. We'll be right back. I'm Annette West. Thank you so much for joining us on the studio.